What is up, YouTube? This is Juggernaut097 bringing you guys another video today, and today I'm going to be doing my WWE Judgment Day 1998 review. And for the month of May, I'm going to be reviewing every Judgment Day and every Over the Limit and every Payback for the month of May. And so yeah, this is something new I'm going to be doing. And yeah, nonetheless, let's get started with this. I'm going to be reviewing all these on the WWE Network, of course. And yeah. So the first match tonight we had was Al Snow with Head versus Mark Merrill with Jacqueline. And before the match got started, Jeff Jarrett tried to get involved in the match, but while the referee had his attention turned to Jeff Jarrett, Mark Merrill attacked Al Snow from behind. And during the match, Mark Merrill wanted to go punt the Head during this match. Some other things that happened in this match. Snow did a moonsault off the top rope and went for the cover, but Jacqueline distracted Al Snow, and Mark Merrill did a low blow when the referee wasn't looking. Snow tried to go for their moonsault, and the second time Jacqueline moved Mark Merrill out of the way. And then Merrill went to go for the TKO, but Snow counters it into the snowplow and wins the match. So yeah, this was a decent opener, but yeah. And then the next match of the night we had was a six-man tag team match. The Legion of Doom with Draws versus DOA with Paul Ellering. And the Legion of Doom win by the Doomsday Device, but Draws gets the pinfall, but he was not the legal man, and the Legion of Doom get mad at Draws for taking the pinfall. And I really don't know what else to say about this match. I didn't really take much notes on this match, so yeah, I'm just going to be pumped from that. But then the next match we had was the WWE Light Heavyweight Championship match. Christian with Gangrel versus Michinaki. I think that's the pronounce his name. Yeah, I can't pronounce his name correctly, but with his, I don't know that Japanese guy with him. I have a hard time pronouncing Japanese guys, but yeah. But during the match, it shows Edge in the crowd, and Michinaki did a nice springboard to the outside of the ring during this match. Christian does a nice inverted DDT. Then Michinaki did a good moonsault to the outside of the ring. It was pretty good. And Michinaki was going for the Michinaki driver, but Christian reverses it into a cradle pin, and Christian is your new light heavyweight champion. So yeah, good match. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best match, but you know, it was a fun light heavyweight championship match. So yeah, moving on. Then the next match we had was Val Venis with Terry Reynolds versus Goldust, and Terry Reynolds was Goldust's wife, and you know, that's how this rivalry pretty much got started. You know, when Val Venis was having an affair with Terry Reynolds. But this was a decent match. Val Venis did a nice crossbody to the outside of the ring, and on Goldust, Val Venis, what is that? I don't know what that is. Val Venis had control of this match during the lot until Goldust hits the superplex off the top rope, and then Goldust was going for an elbow drop off the top rope, but Val Venis moved out of the way. Terry Reynolds gets on the apron and distracts Goldust, but Val Venis tried to blindside Goldust, but Goldust moves out of the way and hits the Shattered Dreams for the pin, which he low blowed him, which was the Shattered Dreams was. So, yeah, decent match. I mean, I didn't really like how the match ended, but yeah, what are you gonna do about it? And the next match we had was the WWE European Championship match, X-Pac with Chyna versus D'Lo Brown. X-Pac was kicking D'Lo Brown a lot during this match in the corner. Then he was going for a Bronco Buster in the corner, which I love the Bronco Buster. Excuse me. That's one of my favorite moves in pro wrestling, the Bronco Buster. But D'Lo Brown hit kicks him in the balls when he was going for the Bronco Buster. And then D'Lo Brown did a good powerbomb during this match. Then X-Pac went for the Bronco Buster a second time and finally hits it. And tries to get involved and slaps D'Lo Brown. Then the ref, Mike Chioda, took a bump to the outside of the ring. Then Mark Henry came out, and then D'Lo Brown went outside the ring to go grab the European Championship and hit X-Pac with the title. But then Mark Henry put the ref back in the ring, and D'Lo Brown went for the pinfall, but X-Pac kicks out of that. And then D'Lo Brown was going for a leaning shoulder block off the top rope, but X-Pac caught him in an X-Factor and wins the match. And your new European champion is X-Pac. So, yeah, a good match. Probably one of my favorite wrestling matches other than that. So, yeah. And then the next match we had was the Tag Team Championship match. The New Age Outlaws versus the Headbangers. And the Headbangers interrupt them before the match when the New Age Outlaws were doing their, normal stuff in the ring. Like your Tag Team Champions of the World. Like that normal stuff. I'm not going to do it, but the New Age Outlaws took control early on in the match until Mosh got in the ring. Then Road Dogg and Mosh, they got hot tagged during this match to Billy Gunn and Thrash. During the match, Mosh grabs Billy Gunn while the ref was not looking and banged Billy Gunn's head off the steel steps. The Headbangers did a lot of cheating in this match, but the end happens when the Headbangers were doing a double team move. Then Road Dogg grabs a boombox and breaks it over Thrash's head. So the Headbangers win by disqualification, but the titles do not change hands, so the titles are still with the New Age Outlaws. So yeah, I don't really like how this match ended by a disqualification. I just did not like that one bit at all. But this match wasn't the greatest match. And it wasn't the worst, but it was eh. It was eh. That's what I'm gonna say. But then the next match we had was the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Ken Shamrock versus Mankind, and they're a really fun match. And early on in the match, Ken Shamrock worked on Mankind's ankles. Then Ken Shamrock did a lot of knees to the face. Then they were fighting outside for a little bit. Then Mankind picks up a steel chair, but excuse me, sorry about that. And then I just forgot where it was. Oh yeah, so then Mankind picks up a steel chair, but Mike Chioda does not disqualify him for picking up the steel chair, and he takes the steel chair away from Mankind. But then Ken Shamrock takes the chair and hits him with it, and the Mike Chioda didn't disqualify him, which I didn't understand why. Maybe they were just giving him leeway. But yeah, and then Ken did a nice belly-to-belly suplex, and Mankind hits the underhook DDT. Mankind puts Ken Shamrock into the tree of woe and does a jumping elbow drop. Mankind did a elbow drop off the apron. Then Ken Shamrock did a power slam on the steps, and then puts Mankind in the ring. Then puts the ankle lock on. Then Mankind Mankind gets to the ropes, and then Ken Shamrock, he drives him back to the middle of the ring, and he puts the ankle lock on again, and then Mankind, he does the mandible claw to himself. So the winner of the match was Ken Shamrock by the mandible claw. So Mankind, he He passed out during this match, though, by his own finisher. I thought that was funny. And then after the match, um, Ken Shamrock beats him up, and then beats up the referee. The Mankind puts, and then Mankind puts Mr. Socko on and applies the mandible claw onto Ken Shamrock. So yeah, that was that. And the next match of the night we had was Mark Henry versus The Rock. Uh, I'm not gonna really talk much about this match. No. Yeah, Mark Henry wins the match by a splash when D'Lo Brown holds down The Rock's legs. So yeah, that was that. And then the main event of the night was the WWE Championship match. Stone Cold as a special guest referee. Kane versus The Undertaker. This was a fun match. This was really pretty much a brawling match, in my opinion. Like Stone Cold, there was no DQs during this match. I mean, this was just pretty much a brawl. Kane did a lot of, he worked on Kane's leg during this match, and Kane does an Irish whip to Undertaker in the corner, but Stone Cold was in the corner, and then Undertaker hits Stone Cold, and then Kane does a choke slam on Stone Cold. Taker and Kane beat up Stone Cold for a little bit, and then Taker finally turns his attention back to Kane. Then Kane hits a choke slam on everyone. Then everyone was down, and then Paul Bearer came out. He brought a chair out, and then it looks like he was going to hit the Undertaker, but then he hits Kane instead, and then Kane goes after Paul Bearer, but then what's it called? Sorry, and if you guys can hear that in the background, sorry about there's these dogs barking in the background. So sorry about that. But back to what I was saying about this match. These dogs just keep irritating me. Sorry about this. This is a bad review. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, Taker takes the chair and then hits Kane with the chair. But then Stone Cold does a Stone Cold Stunner on Undertaker, and then he counts the 1, 2, 3 when they were both down. So this match was like a no finish match. But Stone Cold gets on the mic and then declares himself as the winner. So the winner of the match was Stone Cold, which I don't know how. And then Stone Cold got on the mic. He said, "Yeah, Vince McMahon, you gonna fire me? Then do it." And he went backstage looking for Vince McMahon, and he finally came back out to the ring. And then then you heard Vince McMahon, and then they brought up the Titantron, and Vince McMahon was in this press box, and then Vince McMahon told him he was fired, and then after that, Stone Cold was like, "Well, if I'm fired, then we're gonna play my music for one last time," and then he gets some beer, and then he starts celebrating with the fans. So yeah, this was my Judgment Day 1998 review, like I said, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Wasn't the best review, but I had a lot of interruptions during this video. But yeah, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your first time ever checking out one of my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And I'm going to be doing my NXT review coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, pretty much all I have to say, guys. So peace out. Talk to you guys later.